Okay, this is activity 41-3, check your understanding. I think this is the second check your understanding. They want us to complete the tree diagram. It's complete over here, so I just want to walk you through this. Remember, this is the probability that we pick a girl. So there's 10 girls out of a total of 25 students. 10 girls and 15 boys, that's 25 students. And if you divide 10 by 25, you get 0.4. Okay, so this down here is probability of getting a boy. There's 15 boys out of 25, and you say 15 divided by 25, it gives you 0.6. So we've picked a girl. We no longer have 25 students. We now have 24. And we started off with 10 girls, but we picked one, so we only have 9 girls. If we picked a girl the first time, then we still have the 15 boys, but we are down to 24 because we picked a name out and we did not replace it. Okay, so this one right here, we've picked a boy, so we still have the 10 girls' names. And then this is the 24 students that are left after we picked that boy's name. We picked a boy's name, so we no longer have 15. Instead of having 15, we're down to 14 now. And the 24 is because we picked the boy. All right, so that's where we get all of those numbers. What's the probability that the students chosen will be 2 girls? So that's girl, girl. So what do? We multiply those two together. This is the probability of picking a girl. This is the probability of picking a girl, given that a girl was already picked. So you just multiply those two things together, and when you multiply them together, you get 0.15. A girl and a boy. Well, you've got 2 ways to get a girl and a boy. You can do a girl and a boy this way, so you'd multiply these two together. Or you could get a boy and a girl this way, so you multiply those two together. So these two multiplied together and then added. That's going to give you the 0.5. Multiply 0.4 times 15 over 24. Multiply 0.6 times 10 over 24. And then add those two results together. 2 boys. Here's the 2 boys. There's only one way to get 2 boys. Boy, boy. Multiply these two together, and that gives you the 0.35. Why is this probability experiment without replacement? Without replacement is to make sure it is an independent event. Without replacement, with replacement, it would be independent. And it's telling you right here that because of why we're picking names to be hall monitors, it doesn't make sense. If we picked a name and then we put it back in the hat and then we picked another name, you can't use that one student to be 2 different hall monitors. So it doesn't make sense to pick them in there because they can't do the same job. They can't do 2 different jobs at the same time. So it has to be a dependent event. Otherwise, you would run this chance of this happening. Okay, so they give us a bag of marbles. We've got red, white, and green. And he picks a marble from the bag. He doesn't look at it. And then he picks a second marble without putting back the first one, so without replacement. They want a tree diagram. So we have red, white, and green, and then after we draw this first one, if the first one was red, the second one could be red, white, or green. The first one could be white. That means the second one could be red, white, or green. The first one could have been green, but the second one could have been red, white, or green. So here's your tree. This is the first draw. This is the first draw. This is the second draw. Okay, so the first time we pulled out a marble, this is the second marble. So first marble, second marble. All right, do you understand where the 3 out of the 15 comes from? There's 3 red. If you add these up, 8 and 7, there's a total of 15 marbles. So 3 out of 15, 3 of those 15 are red, 5 of those 15 are white, and 7 of those 15 are green. Why are all of these numbers 14? Well, because we drew a marble. And if we drew a red marble the first time, then the second time we're only going to have 2 red marbles left. But if we drew a red marble the first time, we still have 5 white and we still have 7 green. We didn't draw a white or a green one. So this is how all of those numbers are calculated. And now they want us to find the probability of each one of these. So 2 white marbles. So white, white. All we have to do is multiply those 2 numbers together. You multiply those 2 numbers together and you get 0.95. The next one is a red and a white. Now this one is, in order to get this answer, they're only considering that the first one is red and the second one is white. They didn't flip it and say, well, we could draw a white one and then a red one. Now, I would disagree with that. I did not get this answer when I did it. I didn't write it down. But I got a bigger number because I did red, white, and then I added it to white, red. So I had a bigger number than 0.71. They're doing it in as if red is the first marble, white is the second marble. So if that's the way they're doing it, then all you have to do is multiply these 2 numbers together and just multiply them together. And that answer comes out to be this number right here. Now, if you did this, then you would multiply these 2 numbers together, and then you would multiply these 2 numbers together, and then you would add those together. That's why I said I got a bigger number the first time. 2 green marbles, there's not a lot of controversy there. You just say 2 green marbles, multiply those numbers together, and you will get the answer. Okay, that's the end of the check your understanding. Now let's go on to the practice. So they want you to do the same thing. They want you to draw a tree diagram. So this one goes back to it's either going to snow or it's not going to snow. And then after this event happens, we either get a profit or we do not get a profit. So that's what he's building, a ski resort. He worked out, so this piece of information right here was given. This was given. So it says he worked out that if there's a lot of snow this coming winter, the probability that the resort will make a profit is 0.9. So that was given. However, if there's not a lot of snow this winter, then the probability the resort will make a profit is 0.6. So this number was also given. Not a lot of snow and profit. According to the information Jerry found on the internet, or Gary, I know a guy named Jerry that spells it with the G but says it with a J, so I don't know. Gary or Jerry. The probability that there will be a lot of snow this winter is 0.7. So a lot of snow is 0.7, so this is given. So these 3 pieces of information are given, and then we calculate these because we know they have to add together to be 1. Okay, so we have to get 1 right here. We have 0.9, then we need 0.1 right there. So those add together to be 1. And these have to add together to be 1. So we know if that's 0.6, that has to be 0.4. So those are pretty easy to calculate. And now they just, what's the probability that there will be a lot of snow and the resort will make profit? A lot of snow and profit, so you multiply those 2 together. What's the probability that there will not be a lot of snow and the resort will not make profit? Not. So you multiply the 0.3 times the 0.4. And then what's the probability that it will make profit? There's 2 different ways to get profit. You can get profit with a lot of snow, and you can get profit without a lot of snow. So you multiply these 2 together, you multiply these 2 together, add them together, and that's your profit. All right, so this is an interesting bracket. There's 3 different times that you can play. You can play on a Monday, Wednesday, Friday, or you can play on a Tuesday, Thursday, or you can play on a Saturday, Sunday. So during the week or on the weekend. All right. So this is 3 days out of the 7 days that are in the week. This is 2 of the days out of the 7 days are in a week. And this is 2 of the days out of the 7 days are in a week. Then they give us this information. All of this information over here is given. So the 0.6 was given. The 0.5 right here was given. I'm going to circle the givens. This is given. This is given. This is given. So how did we figure out this? I said 1 minus 0.6, that gives me 0.4. 1 minus 0.5, that gives me 0.5. 1 minus 0.45, that gives me 0.55. So that's where I got those numbers. And now they're asking me about the probability. What is the probability that Coach Caroline's team will win? Well, there's 3 different ways to win. You can win on a Monday, Wednesday, Friday, or you can win on a Tuesday, Thursday, or you can win on a Saturday, Sunday. So multiply, 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 add all of those multiplications together, and this is what you get right here, 0.529. And that finishes up this activity.